G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So on today's video, I'm going to show you a little trick to fix a tank when the cycle is broken. Obviously you need more than one tank to do this, and this is a very common technique in the fish industry. Most of you probably actually know this one, but I guess I'll shed some light on it if you don't know. Alright, so a bit of a backstory. I was recording a members video and then I noticed that this sponge filter here, the air stone was popped off, and I was actually talking about how the fish doesn't look very well, and I was worried about what might be wrong with him, and it was actually the fact that this sponge filter wasn't running, and as soon as I plugged it in, all this debris came out of it, like literally as I plugged it in. So first off, I'm going to do a big water change on it. So this tank here, I can actually just take the standpipe out, and I'm pretty much just going to clean the sponge filter while we're here. I should have taken the fish out first, but that's alright. He's going to have a nice clean home in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this sponge filter off here, and so there is a little bit of concern that this guy might not be well, so I'm actually not going to put this sponge filter back in a tank. I'm going to let this completely dry out and then wash it, and so basically, because that filter's been disconnected, I'm under the assumption that the cycle is broken, which means that now that I plug the filter back in, the tank's going to get a spike of ammonia. So we'll get our water change going. I've got aged water here, but obviously if you're doing it, you'll have to use tap water conditioner. So I'm going to so what I've done is where that standpipe, I've connected it to this hose here, and it's going straight into the drain. And then we're just going to fill it back up. I'll get the standpipe, and I'll actually keep stirring that. So we'll keep that debris going down that drain. Also, it's nice and warm here at the moment, so the water coming in is actually the same. Well, it's really, I was going to say it's close, but it's actually the same temperature as the water siphoning. So it just means that I can do a bigger water change than if I was using tap water. Hopefully this makes for a better time for this guy. Alright guys, that sponge filter is actually stuffed on that tank up there, so I found a spare frame. So what we're going to do is, this tank here has got like more sponge filters than a man needs. So what we're going to do is tie a knot in this hose. I was just going to take one off the double stacked one, but it turns out this one here is a better option. So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 sponge filters in there, and there's only 2 small colonies in there. So we're going to steal this. We need that. Alright, I can just take this whole frame. No, it doesn't matter which frame I take. So we need. Have you guys seen this? You can literally stick 2 together. I'm sure most of you know that, but if you don't, there's a bit of news. So this sponge here, that's weird. It's missing a piece. Is it? No, it's got the plate. Oh, That just seems weird when I put that on there. Alright, so then this is going to go in the tank. We're not squeezing it or nothing. We're trying to keep the bacteria in this one that we've just borrowed from another tank. We want to keep that. Oops. I got to turn the hose off. Oh. My bad. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, we don't want to clean that filter or nothing. We literally just want to have that filter chill. And then I noticed on the other video you guys saying how much better it is when my wife films. I'm going to try and get her more involved in the future. Obviously, it is a little bit hard with a new baby. Alright, so now I need to put this airline on this piece, but that's a two-hand job. Alright, so now that's on, put this back on here. And this tap that's on there, that leaks more than the sponge gets. So when it's not flowing very well, just take this bottom plate off, pull it apart. Quite hard to get apart one-handed. You pretty much generally just pull it apart, give that piece a shake, and then put it back together. Now obviously whenever you do anything to do with these sponge filters, the tank gets filthy, so don't be disheartened by that. Just give it a vacuum in either like 4 hours or the next day. The main thing here is we're kicking off a cycle for this dude. He won't mind the dirty tank, but he'll love the clean water. So this sponge filter here is going to go in the bin. I can show you why. So this tank here, with that sponge filter, I shouldn't really need to do any extra water changes. I'll probably do one tomorrow with a vac just to clean the tank in general, but if I was worried about the cycle, now that it's got that cycled sponge filter in there, there should be no need to exit my normal regime. Alright, so what's wrong with this? If you look in here, can you see that bit is snapped off in there? So when you stack it, put that on there, it doesn't stay on anymore. So this bad boy's going in the bin. I've got a fair few of these frames spare, and I actually just ordered 10 more. I ordered 10 more of these high flow ones. So what I'm actually going to do, some of these thicker ones I'm actually going to replace with the high flow, and then the thicker ones I'm going to put on the new stands that I get, because I want some more high flows on these filters. They generally do better, but you can't buy these high flow sponges by themselves, so I've got to buy the whole kit and caboodle. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap that video up there. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope that was helpful to at least one person that watches this. Obviously if you might only have one tank, but don't be afraid to reach out on your social medias, your local aquarium pages. Just say, you could even go to the aquarium shop and buy a sponge filter brand new and just post on a local page and say, will anybody swap a seeded sponge for a non-seeded sponge? And like, you could get that seeded sponge, and you might even have a canister filter. You can throw that sponge in the canister filter. The point behind that is those XY380 sponge filters, they're a good commodity to trade to somebody with a fish room. So you can get yourself a cycle for the price of a sponge filter. They go for like 18 bucks, I think. Maybe a bit more in the pet shop, but you can use that same theory with a canister filter, just throw that sponge in the canister filter. Obviously the bigger the tank, the more chance that the cycle will still take a bit of a process, but the smaller the tank, a sponge filter is pretty much big enough to run the tank by itself anyway, so you pretty much you will get minimal cycle and the fish will be happy. But anyway guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, hit that little red button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.